The date is Assalamu alaikum. The date is 7th July 2025 times 3:47 p.m. Bahrain time. Today we are trading Tesla again, and that is because Tesla has very interesting news out. Tesla lower as Musk considers new political party. Now that is very spicy news. The data docket this week is light. There are not interesting news coming out. The tariffs are going to be the decision makers of this week. So we will be focusing on tariffs, and we expect the bull momentum to continue because the market has shaken off every bad news and tried to push the highs. If we go take a look at the SPY, we can see that the market is trading towards the highs. The market is really boosting or expecting bullish momentum. It's shaking off all the bad news, the tariff, the war, and everything, and it's trying to go higher and higher. People, I think, have high expectations of Trump's new bills and policies. How it eventually turns out remains to be seen, but inshallah, we will see that too. So let me quickly scroll through the news. The most important news today is that Trump is going to send tariff letters to 12 countries, 12 p.m. Eastern time on July 7th, that is today, regarding higher tariff rates effective from August 1st. Warning countries of increased rates, some up to 50%. So mostly a reminder letter. He will send it at Bahrain time 7 p.m. Nothing too concerning. So let us just go through the news once. Let me scroll through everything. This is all the news regarding the U.S. interactions going on with the rest of the world. The second most important news is this: EU China. China is imposing import restrictions on medical devices from the EU in response to EU's ban on public tenders. Imports from non-EU countries must not contain over 50% EU-made components by contract value. Elsewhere, French Finance Minister Lombard urged Europe to strengthen tariff barriers to protect its industrial economy from Chinese imports, calling for expanded measures beyond steel and automobiles to better counteract risks posed by China's trade practices. So everyone is shifting towards protectionism, shifting towards protecting their industrials, protecting their. They want to reduce trade interactions. They want domestic production. That is the route that everyone is trying to take now, given U.S. news stance. Equity news. Since we are trading Tesla, let's look at Tesla news. Tesla lowers its pre-tax prices of Model 3 vehicles by up to 10% in Hong Kong. Elsewhere, Elon Musk announced the formation of America Party opposing Trump's tax bill, warning it would bankrupt the US. The move deepens his rift with Trump and unsettled investors, with Tesla shares falling in the pre-market trade. Okay. Okay, now we are on this page. Let's open Tesla. Let's do some planning. Let's hope inshallah today goes well. Let's look at 5 minute. Okay, interesting. Tesla is resisting 297, which was previously supported. Tesla bounced off of 291. 291. So let's go here. Let's expect some plays off of this area. Let's see how important these levels are from a daily trading point of view. Tesla has previously resisted these levels. So if Tesla breaks this level and continues to stay above, that is good news. So I think the low 293. Interesting. If Tesla fails to hold above this area, this 293 area, did we see Tesla try to hold above 293? Yeah, we saw Tesla try to hold above 293. So if Tesla holds above 293 and tries to go up, we go long. If Tesla goes below 293, retraces and still shows weakness, we go short. Those are the first two plans that I can come up with. Let's go back. 293 is our key player today because this is the area that Tesla tries. 295. 295. Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Very tricky. Let's see where the volume vacuum is. That should give us some interesting insights as well. We go from here to here. Interesting. Most POC is 274, and then we see a volume spike at 284, and then a volume vacuum till 300. Mm-hmm. And then from 300 there's a volume vacuum and it's 319. So we expect resistance at 300. 300 is the area that we ex 300 is a more solid level than 293, of course. 293, why? Because 300 is backed by volume, but there are no wicks at 300 except this one at 305. There are no wicks at 300. So 293 is backed by spikes. This level, yeah, 293 is mainly backed by spikes, by rejection, and 300 is where do we see volume start increasing at 298. 298 to 301 is where we start seeing resistance, and it's not until 290 that we see volume start to increase. Okay, if we look at the developing POC, this area was most volume traded. I don't understand why though, but let's ignore that for now. If we come back to this area is not showing any interesting behavior. If the stock stays above 310, then it has potential to rally, is what happened previously. Doesn't mean that it will happen today. So we need to make a plan for today. We should be seeing some kind of new movement, some kind of interesting behavior. Let's see. Let's see. What are so let us try to reassess everything. Let's get rid of the lines that we don't expect any value from. The market opened somewhere at 291 and then it tried rallying up to 295 where it was resisted at 298 area, and we expect resistance to hold in 298 to 300 area. If the stock ends up crossing above 300 and holds and it goes long, that means the stock is still strong, but not beating 300 today, which is likely. um, there are two issues. First, the market is in a bull momentum, it's in a bullish momentum, it wants to rally. Now in a market like this, Tesla has come out with bad news, with a very expected resistance level at 300. So Tesla is trying to contradict the market. Should we try to short a stock in a bullish market, is the question. Tesla, it's possible. The question is, how strong are the sellers? How how important is, first let's try to gauge the importance of 291. First let's try to understand how important is 291. And if you're looking at this, 292 291 to 284 is the area where volume starts becoming like really heavy. It's where recently the stock has tried to show value, and the news is not, see, Elon Musk has been involved with the Trump administration for quite some time, so he has been showing some leniency or bias towards involving himself with politics. The market has, or it should have, considered all of this. Now, today's news already solidifies it. It just adds more fuel to the fire per se. So what we expect now We expect 284 to be held no matter what. We expect 284, we expect 288, somewhere in this dirty area. Let's zoom into this area and see. I think the play is based off of this area, 25th April to 7th May. Let's try to go into that zone and let's try to come up with some theories. 25th control. Sorry, how do you go? It's option G. Okay. 25th April. You know, go to Alt Shift E. Let's get rid of this. So this is the area where the play is. 271 being the lowest. Let's just mark it. Let's just 281. We are seeing. Let's try to get a volume analysis on this as well, just to see which area is important. The most important area comes out to be, again, it's 284. This area, very volume heavy area, 284. Okay, and then the volume begins to fade at 288. So this area should act as a magnet, and we don't expect 284 or 280 to be broken no matter what. And then we see a volume spike at 274. That is, I think, secondary buying phase. People think 270 is good. In this area, 270, 280 and then 270 are the good value areas. 295 is not the most important level. So if the stock holds 295, if it shows potential, if it shows that it can hold 295, it is an important level. But if the stock can hold this area, this 292 to 295 area, if the stock can hold this rectangularish area, that means, does that mean the stock is bullish? That is the good question. Do we expect the stock to start rallying if it holds this area? Is that what this level means? No. We expect multiple confirmations off of this level. If it comes down to this level, tries to go back up, and then comes down, and then goes, or maybe like consolidates in this area and then decides to go up, then we can say that, okay, this level is important. This level was held and now it's going to cross 300. Now it's going to rally higher. But if it breaks this level, if it breaks this level, or we can expect something like Tesla coming down to this level, trying to bounce back up, goes sideways, but it's like slightly pressured. We can expect a break like this. Then maybe it retraces, maybe it doesn't. That is not important. Maybe it can directly break downwards as well. That is not important. We can expect movement like this. Which area is this? Is the 295 to 292 area, or we see consolidation in this area with like lower highs, and finally the stock breaks. This is something we can expect to see. Or if the stock is actually stronger than what we think, which I highly doubt, opens, shoots to, I don't know, 300 maybe, slows down a bit, and then goes all the way up, skyrockets. This is case number 3. So the possibility that we are expecting is either this support level being pressured and then being broken, or this support level being held. This is the support play that can happen, these 3 scenarios. So what we are trying to look for in today's trade is, how is this support behaving? First, we will try to analyze how the support is behaving. If we see front running, if we see behavior like desperation amongst the buyers, big buy orders, we are seeing the tape speed increase, then we can assume that okay, the buyers are strong, and then we can go long off of this area till 300, maybe, be even patient, aim for 315, 312, 38 area, whatnot. So first we are going to watch, if the stock comes down, we are going to watch 290 and then place our bets accordingly. What if the stock rallies to 308? What if the stock opens, let's think of this as well. Let's think of this. What if the stock opens here, goes till 300? Then what? We already have our first scenario, uh, the third one over here. Let's make a fourth scenario that the stock is trying to, it went up, it is now consolidating in the 300 range. Oh, my bad. It's consolidating in the 300 range. It moves sideways, it moves sideways, it moves sideways, fakes out upwards and then gets shot down. Even something like this is possible. Gets shot down but holds and then decides to move sideways. You know, something like this is entirely possible as well. And that makes lower highs. This will be lower. So we have four scenarios here. Which is the most likely? These two will happen if the sellers are extremely strong. Okay, and let's consider, let's include the fact that, or the concept of level sellers, that somebody who's willing to sell at 300, he will only want to sell at 300. Somebody who's willing to sell at 315, he will only sell at 315. He wants that price. So we have incorporated all the sellers at, this area. A spike like this might invite sellers from, or might attract sellers in the 315 area as well. This area might not, this price might not, but this price can invite or attract sellers from the 315 area. This is showing seller desperation, but doesn't necessarily mean that desperation can be strong. We can even see something like, something like this, that the sellers try to desperately push the price down and they exhaust themselves, the desperate sellers who are selling based on the news. This level holds up, and then it rallies. Something like this. Let's push this down. So it's gonna be tricky. We need to understand how dominant volume is going to be important here. If this area has less volume, then a reversal can be expected. If this area has too much volume, then it might actually break down. So one play over here is this, that the stock opens and starts going lower. Like for example, it is going lower in the pre-market right now. So let's shift this into the 290. Actually, yeah, this is the area. It's anything lower than this, I don't expect it to be held. This is the area. So we expect this area to be pressured. If this area is broken, what is the time? If this area is broken right at the open, then the stock tries to recover, then we are trying to get some shorts in. Actually, it's even there's another case. Price falls down, all the desperate sellers exhaust themselves, price recovers, and then it rises. Even something like this is possible. At first the market takes out all the desperate sellers and then it moves up. Which one do we trade today? 1 2 3 4 5 6. We have 6 different scenarios. Again, everything depends on the volume and the behavior of the 292 or 295, this area, behavior of the price action in this area and the volume coming in. These are the two things that we are going to look at, how the stock behaves here. And then we only enter when we have a confirmation. Even if that entry is late, Imad, yes, even if that entry is late, because we expect that late trend to continue throughout the day. If the stock has decided to go bullish, it is going to stay bullish for the rest of the day. So we are going to aim for a slightly later but confirmed entry in this case, because the trend that the stock decides to take in during the open is going to be maintained for the rest of the day. Okay, fair. Everything you say is understandable. So what are we looking for? For a reversal, we are looking for low volume at the open, and for a breakdown, we are looking at high volume in the open. I think that is, I need to write this somewhere. Okay, that is all the planning that we need. That is the most important um, information, although basic, that we have come up with, and we are going to try and hopefully utilize it, make some money, inshallah. See you guys in 50 minutes. Okay, the market opens in 30 seconds, 20 seconds actually. The update on TradingView is very, very late. Let's make this bigger. The structure is holding 292 held. Where do we go long? Sometimes it moves so fast I can't even tell what's happening. We should see some dwindling at 300. If it goes straight to 295, then GG. Okay, yeah, very nice. And expected pullback. What is it? Expected pullback. Okay, a break below 291. Even if it breaks now, we don't enter. Or even if it holds, we don't enter until. Okay, if okay, go long. Go long with very tight stop. It was already stopped out. Go long again. Yeah, this graph is not helping me at all. Why is this 0.0105? This is better. We expect 292 to hold. What price am I getting? Trapped buyers, trapped sellers at 292. 291 is broken, so we are seeing this level get pressurized. Go short. It's still in the zone. What does our plan say? Uh, we expect, what kind of, yeah, volume? We're supposed to look at volume. Yeah, we have very high shorting volume. Till where do we let it go? There's a lot of buyers at 289. So it momentarily broke down but was heavily pressured at that level. If it comes back up, I should ideally add more size, because that would mean that the level 290 is not very strong. Is that what I am supposed to do? Okay, it has come back up and we add more size. This much should be enough. Where do we put our stop? We put our stop at 293 because that means the plan has failed. Let's see if the stop takes a nosedive, or do we get trapped? Are we the trapped sellers? Okay, a lot of people sold at 290, by the way. It was not just me. What are the numbers we seeing here? 330,000 sellers at this level at 290. Yeah, I think we got trapped. Do we improvise our position? Do we expect? I mean, that is a very big number. I want to go long. Should I? Why is 5-minute chart going on? The volume has dwindled, so the price is rising on very low volume. That adds a bit of confirmation that the stock should fall. Okay, stop loss was triggered. Let's see how the stock behaves on pullback. It has slowed down significantly. Let it go back into the 290 zone. Let's look at the DOM. Very strong sellers at 293, huh? 22,000. Do we take the risk of going short again? But I don't know what this means. Buyers being trapped like this. I don't know what it means. Sorry, sellers being trapped like this. $50K sellers being trapped. I think that is a good sign that we should start going long. For now, we've only seen a sign. We have not seen anything significant. $291 is broken, we sell. If it's held by the end of this candle. Okay, it's being held. So I guess a lot of iceberg orders in this area. Lot of iceberg orders in this area. So I think it's gonna go down once again. Wow, okay. I mean, how much can they sell? guess now we'll let it run because a lot of iceberg orders in that area. Mm-hmm. I'll be seeing a lot of sell iceberg orders as well. Interesting, very, very interesting. How much are we down today? Account summary minus, is this today? No. 26, 50, 66, 49, so around 200. We are down 200. What is the volume that we are seeing on the pullback at the view app? Okay, again I guess I'm seeing iceberg orders. Stock slows down. We see iceberg orders here again. 292. A lot of iceberg orders in this area. Okay, I think again we saw interesting. Where are the majority of the sellers at 293, right? So the buyers need to eat all the sellers at 293 for it. Okay, and the buyers are at 291. So I think this is a consolidation between 291 and 293, after which the stock will choose direction, is what I take from my understanding. So what was the rule? If the volume is low in the consolidation, we can expect a reversal. If the volume is very high, so the question becomes, how strong are the sellers in this area in cumulative? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Who was dominant? Sellers were quite dominant actually. Sellers were very, very strong, but sellers are selling into all of these buy orders, so that could also mean that the buyers are strong. Sellers are not able to push the price down. If I saw, the sellers edging it towards 289 instead of buyers pushing it towards 293, I would have assumed that okay, the sellers are strong today. But the price does not come down here. The moment it starts showing this thing, iceberg orders, and not just one, two, a lot of it. Like, we did not see. When did this happen? When exactly did this happen? 58, 59, 60k. 60k sellers were trying to break the 291 level. We expect the price to first fall a bit and then go up. 12k, 116,000 orders. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know what that means. The 290. People are just buying. Will it break this level? I don't know. It can. And I'll just go. Is that how you trade, man? I don't know. Let's just keep going. 30 stocks. Let's add 30 because that is just insane order. I don't know what this. That order is just hands down the most insane order I've ever seen in my life. Sellers, how much did they sell? 61K. I mean, the volume today is high, that is for sure. The volume is high, and the sellers are desperately selling into the sell orders. This is not something I wanted to see. Next time I should add a rule like do not trade in the first half an hour in a situation like this. Yeah, I am gonna add a rule that if the let's take a look at SPY. That if the market is against the stock, do not like the market is bullish. Is the market bullish though? No. Wait, in that case, Tesla is performing similar to the market. But a bullish market would have done better today, in my opinion. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple, okay, Apple really rose. That's a big move from Apple. 212.5 to 1216. Something like this gives us more opportunities, compared to Tesla. If you look at MSFT or Meta was very bullish. Okay, MSFT rallied. Meta did very well. Dumped into the zone and then rallied. And it's continuing to rally. Tesla, on the other hand, is I would like to point out that 170,000 sellers, I think the 290 area, and the stock still like holds. So if that is not the best definition of insane amount of iceberg orders are being placed, I don't know what is. That is an insane amount of iceberg orders. Okay, at 290 it was not even iceberg, it was just plain orders. People left 100,000 orders in the market. Were they that sure that these orders were going to be executed? I don't know. Buyers do not have the capacity for a huge breakthrough unless some huge amount comes or something. Buyers have not shown anything that suggests that they're going to break everything or they have shown extreme aggression or anything. Buyers have been very passive. Huge orders in the market but very passive. No aggression. And that is what is making me slightly nervous. Where is the aggression? Like this time the stock rose on 5,000 delta. Buyers were so weak in the previous move. They're like barely evenly trying to match the sellers. But even when sellers show aggression, nothing happens. 120K, 170K, nothing happens. A freaking blue or a green candle on 170K negative delta. I don't know if that is. I don't know. That is just crazy. And I think the orders keep piling up at 290. For some reason, people have believed that 290 is the best price that you can get on Tesla. We're entering with 100 size. This is our final move. 290. Yeah. It's going back into the 290 zone, which I suspect should be held, and then the stock rallies from there. I'm gonna start placing my SL right below this area. If for any reason the stock fails. I don't know how much I'll be losing today, but I'll be losing a lot. Come on, don't break, go up. Don't break, bro. Being very aggressively sold. Okay, all of that was sold. GG, I think I'm done. Lost. Sell, 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 sell. If it still does not fall, I don't know when it will fall. Again, it really will just be a learning lesson, I guess. Because it really should fall now. Actually, I will take the initiative shorting 1000 at this point. The order size coming in is insane, no? 289, like what? At what price will buyers really show themselves? I think it's going to be 284 is the prime price, right? 284 is the prime price. The buyers might show themselves at 284, I guess. Okay, the stock is falling very nicely. Minus 140k. People sold into that move. So are the sellers desperate and dominant? Is that what we're supposed to interpret from this crazy move? I don't know what to interpret only. It's taking the market a lot of effort to push it down. And the buy orders are going insane. The buy orders, I think, I've never seen buy order look like that. It's 288.7 the price where buyers finally step up. I should reduce the size that I'm trading with. Or not. And very effortless push from the buyers is driving the price high. Like I don't even know what their push is. Let's go back to 30. Like they're so effortlessly driving the price high, it's insane. But again, it might go up to a level where the sellers are very strong, and then and then a new story might start. 4. would like to call this area dogfight, the part that we were trading before. So one thing, okay, and the stock rallies. One thing that we did see was the sellers were taking a lot of effort, the buyers were not. Sellers were desperately trying to push the price lower. Buyers were not, until it came to a price where buyers were like, I don't think we can get a better value than this. And then the stock rallies. This was very interesting to see. Let's see how far can it go. I would expect it to beat 300, but it should go till 300 in my opinion. 298 area for sure. Iceberg orders again. And why do they do this to me? I don't understand. But not spectacularly high iceberg orders. Iceberg orders at 291. We see a very recurring theme at 291. I'm amazed at how frequently we see it. Let's go 1000. I guess good move, huh? Goes till 293. We can expect the stock to start dwindling now. Why did I short? I should have. And I said I should have put a trailing stop loss for. But I can't put it for. I can only put for some of the stocks. Today's open was at 295. My TP is up there, 298 area. Let me bring this to a break even. I think we have covered today's losses, right? Yeah, 629, 450. I think we've covered today's. Oh, we have more than covered today's losses. I think. Yeah, we're actually in the green. So we'll just let it go till there. Let's just see what happens. let's unload a bit more here. Let's actually